All right, good. Looks like we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Trudy. Thank you for being here.
Good morning.
So, welcome everyone. Akasha here, Nan Akasha, and I'm super excited because maybe you have been blessed enough to see the other time that Trudy came on, but we'll make sure actually to put that link today when we do the replay email. So make sure you go to nanakasha.com, you get on the list because we send out all the notices about when we do shows like this. If you subscribe here and you hit notifications, then you'll get a notice when we go live. So that's also another way to stay in tune. And we had another beautiful show when Trudy came on and shared, as well as we had the Priestesses, the Return of the Priestess Summit that we had an incredible sharing from Trudy and Lady Sack Cook. So what we're going to do is dive in today. I'm going to share a little bit about Trudy. Let me share my screen and then we'll come back. So if you guys have any questions, if you have, this is a very wonderful topic because what we're doing is we're remembering who we are, right? The whole planet. We're through an accelerated evolution and we're realizing that we came here on purpose. There was no, oh, why did I end up here right now? We all know that we chose to be here, and whether we really fully embrace it, embody it, enjoy it or not, it's a time of massive metamorphosis, massive transformation. So the longer we're in this process, the more consciously that you accept it and enjoy it, and take each day, take whatever is happening, whatever's unfolding, and turn it around. See it as spirit is working for me. My soul is guiding me to the next optimal step. Everything is already taken care of. Everything I need is already here in each and every moment. So this is prophesized as the time of the wise ones gathering again. And that's you and that's me. Okay. And as that works, right, we have the opportunity now to really say, oh, okay, what is my purpose? Why did I come here? And I want to see if it's here. Here is a show I did with Miguel Angel that you need to watch as well. Now I'm going to share a different screen for a second here. And what happens right now is that we're all given an opportunity and everybody is feeling the intensity of the time, feeling the shedding of the snake energy, feeling the renewal, feeling the acceleration of both the hurdles and the breakthroughs, the breakdowns and the ahas. We are transmuting ourselves, we are alchemizing ourselves, we are literally shape-shifting into a completely different being, and we've had much of our history where we've missed the lessons that we really, really needed. So I want you to make sure that you go check this out because it's coming up very, very soon. Trudy and Miguel Angel, a Mayan priest, the wisdom keeper that you've seen here a few times, are doing this incredible event, and I'm very blessed to be a part of it. So when you go to casaquin there.org, you can find it under Sacred Journeys and lots of other wonderful things. I always recommend the Mayan birth chart reading. So if you go over here, you're going to see that we have this incredible experience for you coming up in December with Trudy, with Miguel Angel, and they've worked together for more than 20 years and live here in the Yucatan. And this is authentic, super deep, sacred wisdom on this sacred land, this land of light, this land of the chosen ones. You are chosen. You chose yourself to be here. We are going deeper into the Maya mindset. We are preparing for a sacred era that's coming for peace, and we have to cleanse the past, prepare ourselves in order to enter that era. And this is all on the website here. Okay, so go check that out. We're going to be in Sacred Cave with this beautiful shaman, Miguelito. We're going to be at some sacred sites. We're going to be on the beach. We're going to be doing sacred ceremony for sunset every day, nearly every day that we're on the beach. We're going to be at Uxmal. We're going to be at another site. And this is a beautiful, soft, sacred experience of your own personal healing, going deeper into the ancestors, deeper into the wisdom, preparing for something, and in your unique way, even though everyone will be going through healings with Miguel and with me and with Trudy. This is going to be your personal journey, and it's such a beautiful, soft place to do it. So make sure that you come and you join us. I don't think I'm sharing. Am I sharing that? No, I'm not sharing it. Okay, let's try that again. Here. Okay. So in case that you weren't seeing that, this is the website over there. There's also a page on my website that will link you over here. And of course, we have the link below. But this just will explain to you a little bit. And then what's fun is Trudy and I will share a little bit about that. But priestess training and remembering your priestess and the call of the priestess, and the priestess being something that I'm talking about as the everyday priestess, becoming the wise one in your life, remembering who you are, that you're a creator, that you're a creatrix, that you're doing your divine magic, that you're living in a sacred life every day, regardless of what the illusion around you is trying to tell you. And that at the end of this beautiful time with us, Trudy and I are offering an extra day at her house to integrate, to talk to the priestesses, to go into your past lives, to whatever that you want. It's going to be really, really beautiful. So, okay, good. Now I want to go back over and share that what else is coming this week. So what else is coming this week is, let's go back here. So we'll get to Trudy. So on Friday, we're going to have a Samhain celebration. Samhain is how you pronounce that. That is the Celtic New Year. It is, of course, Saturday is Day of the Dead, All Hallows Eve. You've got Halloween, Hanal Pishan, whatever culture, there's a name for this time of the year. It's not just the one day. It's now that the veil is thin, which means that we can see and sense the ancestors. We can tune into the other realms, that our 360 intuitive senses are connected to so much more than we're used to. And so you want to be protected, safe. You want to rest. You want to walk with the ancestors. You want to celebrate. This morning I did a session with one of my clients who's been with me for 13 years, I think, 11 years, maybe. And her husband died a couple of years ago, and we were looking at the phase that she's in after something like that, and both on her personal path and his, and how she was feeling this intensity. And I reminded her, well, you're right in this moment when the ancestors are here. And indeed, of course, her husband was here, and we did a beautiful experience with him. So those are other things that you can do with me if you want around this time of year. But we're going to go into walking with the power animals of this time of the year, which I always bring Jaguar, of course. Happy Ish Day, Jaguar Day. We're going to work with bat, raven, owl, and snake, and both from the Celtic and the Maya tradition. And we're going to bring in transmissions from Hecate and the Morrigan, who are more Celtic tradition goddesses of this time. And I have a sound healer coming on to give us an incredible sound bath, Shannon Brown. She's incredible, and a beautiful woman named Judith, who designed the Celtic Goddess Oracle. And she's going to come on, share more about Samhain, and do some cards for us with the Celtic Goddess Oracle. So of course we'll be using my Prosperity Magic Oracle. It's going to be a lot of fun. So join us for that. And remember that the replay will be there if you have to be doing something else. Now, let me see if we've got that here. No, she doesn't have the new one up. So there's another show that's going to happen on Thursday. And let me see if I can look it up. Okay. I'll look up whether, no, she doesn't have it here. The key to a secret door to ancient magic. Okay, so I think that I can try to add it here. And that's going to be on Thursday. So the ancestors have been coming through. We are doing the Ancestor Magic 20 Days of Sacred Alchemy class. And what we want to do is use this time of year, which is why the ancestors stepped in and said, no, we're taking over this 20-day thing. You got to do it every day. It's going to be less than an hour. You can do it anytime you want that day to follow along. It's really powerful. deep magic stuff that's going to be happening. And so I've done 2 shows with the ancestors. We have the class starting Saturday, but Thursday they wanted to talk some more because, again, we're in this portal of a very thin veil. So this is the one that we're going to be doing on Thursday. Okay, good. Now let's go talk about Trudy. So today I just named this, the priestesses are saying it's time, and we're going to have the most fascinating conversation. And Trudy's been channeling Lady Sack Cook for so long, and she has the most amazing personal experiences. And this is just going to be being bathed in wisdom. So sit back and get your cacao and enjoy. So I'm just going to share a little bit. Trudy is from Canada, and a long time ago, like on an interesting spirit path, she did find her way here to the Yucatan in Mexico, and everything so interesting how her tour company and Miguel Angel and everything came together to open doorways to her be living her purpose here in this sacred land, going to places in such an amazing way. So she's been channeling the messages from Lady Sack Cook, a high priestess from Palenque. Palenque is a sacred ancient Maya site that I'm in the process of organizing a trip to with Miguel Angel. And she started to go. She started to have Lady Sack Cook talk to her. We talked a lot about how that happened in her life on the previous show. So, she's going to touch on that, but we're really going to go into what the messages are that are coming through now. And also, Trudy has something called the Mayan Wisdom Circle. So again, on that website there, casaquin.org, you can find that as well. So now we're so excited because this is a moment to be sharing what are these, what is this giant breakdown, right? What is this craziness that's happening, and how is it good and how is it wonderful? And how did you get here? And are able to go through everything you've gone through and still see this, actually to choose to be here, right? You made a few choices over the last few years to say, yeah, I think I'll stay. Oops, I think there you go. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Nan. Yes, a pleasure to be here today. And I love the title, Priestesses Speak. It's time. Because the main message I'm getting all the time is that it's time, and for everybody, their time will come, right? So it's a personal message that now, with all the work we've done over the lifetimes, not just this lifetime, but all the work we've done, I tend to think that all the lessons we've learned, all the experiences we've had over lifetimes have been exactly perfect for leading us to where we are today. That they have prepared us, and now what they're saying is now it's time to activate it. Activate your inner priestess. Activate everything you've learned. We all know that the world is in a transition. Mother Earth is in a transition. Humankind is in a transition, and it's the rise in the sacred feminine, I believe, that has allowed this now to open up a path for our work to matter. For our work to matter, I mean, it's always mattered, but to matter, that where we can see that what we're doing, there's a reason for it, and that it can happen. I'm incredibly optimistic at a time when there's no reason for that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 1,000%. I'm so excited and honored to be here right now.
Yeah.
This is a time that isn't going to happen again. It isn't going to last forever. And it's kind of like, you go on an adventure, and, it's a 20-day adventure, and it's going to end. So you better enjoy it while you're in it. And I think we have an incredible opportunity. And many of our listeners have been, on this path for a long time. We've been doing our work, learning new meditations, figuring out, how do I handle this? How do I let go of my ego? How do I heal my body? How do I get over my, my fears? And it's been that level of self-realization that now there's this leap, though. It needs to be like stepping out of that entire flow of mindset into one where what I like to tell people is that the Maya we're born and we're told from day one, you're divine and human and you have a purpose.
Yes.
That completely changes how you live your life.
Exactly. Yes. And I think it'll come to everyone in their own time. But the more work we've been doing, the more foundation that we've got, the stronger base we have to leap off from, right? We can't make this big jump if we're standing in a swamp, right? And I think all this work we've done, I've seen so many of us have really worked at clearing the past. And the message I'm getting is we've done it. That's done. We don't need to go back and figure out why that happened in 2 lifetimes ago, or what did that mean? Oh, in that lifetime, my sister killed me. Well, what does that mean? Well, how does that? It doesn't matter now. That has all been resolved. Even if it hasn't been resolved on a conscious level, it's resolved. And it's like you're saying, it's time now to take charge of what we have, our gifts, then the one message that Lady Sekok sent to me early was that as we are born into this lifetime, we bring with us a purpose, a real reason for being here. And along with it, we bring the tools and gifts and talents that we need to succeed, to meet our purpose, to create the reality that we're sent here to do. That we've, like you're saying, that we've volunteered. We're here by our choice, and even if life seems really crappy, there's a reason for it, and there's a way out of it, and there's a way through it. And I think the Maya priestesses for me have been really opening up this pathway through the chaos.
Right.
And I think that's one of the big things that we're going to be doing in December. And our retreat with you, Nan, is, and I know you'll be doing it with us, is to really open a pathway through the chaos that brings us through it to the other side. And and the important part is that this pathway benefits you. Like it makes you a successful person. So it benefits you, but it also benefits the community. It's a pathway that others then can follow. And then overall, it benefits Mother Earth. And that's really what the priestesses, the Maya priestesses' goal, the purpose on life was to honor and to work for Mother Earth. And now they're calling all of us who have been there before, priestesses in any form of our life, other past lives, to come together now. And you can see it coming together has been magical. Man, you've been here for years and years, and it's only been this year that we've actually gotten together.
Yeah, about a year. I guess it's gonna be about a year, and it's and I remember thinking that, because when you go deep in the mysteries and you realize, okay, everything exists, it's already done. And I'm the creator of deciding what I want to see, what I want to feel. And we're waking up to that instead of believing the story that we've been conditioned with, that, oh, everybody else is in charge and someone else decides who you are, how much you have, if you're good enough. We're waking up to that dream, that lie, and we're starting to connect to a different thing. And we're realizing, like, there's literally those moments when you have this evolution moment or this ascension moment and your awareness goes to a new state and you just go, that was there? And I walked around for about a month and a half going, I've lived here for 6 years in this area. Like, what? But then, your logical mind might want to make you wrong or whatever. But the other part of me, I know, I was like, well, the timing was perfect and divine. And then to look at, like we both were led to live here and everybody here, you're led, when you look back and you think, I didn't realize the depth of what I was listening to, like where it was leading you to go.
Exactly. I was living a pretty normal life in Canada, in Vancouver at the time. And, but I had this yearning or this, I look back at it, I see it as a call. I was being called to come to Mexico. And I went, okay. Um, it was, oh God, uh, 1992. So it was a long time ago that I came to Cozumel and Cancun on a vacation, and this was celebrating my divorce. I think it was some good thing that brought me here. Excuse me. And at that time, Playa del Carmen just had a dirt road. I mean, there were 6 hotels in Cancun. It was a, I was blown away at the beauty of the place and and I had to come back. I came back and spent 6 months in basically 6 months in Yucatan. Uh, Ending up in Merida. I traveled around and got to Merida, and I stayed to the very last moment when I had to fly back. And and I left in tears, and it was almost like not knowing why. But when I spent the next, I guess, 9 years or so um, preparing to come back semi-consciously. Like sometimes I would know that yes, I'm going to live there, and I would be working at my savings or whatever. And other times I'd be just living my life, and things would be just falling into place. So I've come to learn that we don't have to do every step ourselves. As long as we keep on the path, spirit will drop things into our lives that are absolutely needed. Like
Yeah.
like they dropped you into my life just
Yeah.
when I was coming out of I had back surgery, and I was I guess I was sort of bedridden and that for almost 2 years. And just as I was coming out of that, my brain was clearing up, and I was starting to get back to, okay, what can I do now? You contacted me, and then we got together, and things just moved. It was just like moving another step up, and it was just meant to be.
Yeah.
It was amazing, and I see with each retreat, like in December, the retreat is a small group, and I think every single person has been called. They've
Yes.
been called by the priestesses and told it's time.
Yes.
It's your time. It's time to just wake up, look around, and see where you fit in, because you do. And because it's a small group, we're going to be able to dive really deep into a lot of the mysteries. And Miguel Angel is teaching about the new fire of the Chicaban, which I think is wow. It's starts in 2027, so we don't have a lot of time to prepare for it. But what the Maya and Olmec, it goes back to the Olmec traditions. What they're saying is that this is going to be an era, a 52-year period of peace and uh, harmony.
Yeah.
So we're coming together, and we're doing it in peace. And I think we need to be trained to do that, because we've been trained for a long time for war and to fight.
Yeah.
We need now to really recognize that our power is in harmony. Our power is in working together,
Yes.
and our power is being at peace.
Yeah.
And we've been working a lot at finding our peace inside. And that's really what's helped us bring us to this point now.
Yeah, it's so interesting too, because I know that at certain point in your conscious awareness in cultures on this planet, you just don't believe that peace is possible. You know, we've been so convinced that you have to go to war, you have to defend, you have to have people who are going to attack, you have to fear people you can't trust, and it's so deeply ingrained in our history and our ancestry. But I think that's why. as our conscious, as these states of consciousness are opened to us and we can reunite, like that idea
Yes.
of the top of the Mayan pyramid is the state of consciousness of unity. And it's where we descended as gods. And now we're back there at that place between the worlds where we can reclaim that, uniting with these aspects. And it does require this deeper commitment, the way that a priestess or somebody on a sacred path would take that vow or that commitment, like you said, to Mother Earth, or to being the hands and the voice of the divine. In what way? And it doesn't mean what I think a lot of people think it means. It's not being like a missionary and telling everybody else what to do. It's,
No.
it's not judging everybody. It's taking back your sovereignty, your power, your ability to think for yourself, separate, for those from those group lies or collective conscious things. Because I've been saying no war, no guns for I don't even know how long of my life. And I've had many, many people I know and many friends that I love just look at me like, oh, you're so naive, and, we're now at the point where we can see it's a mirror. And it's only going to reflect back to us what we keep giving it. And that's the beauty of this idea. So when you have, so share about your story, and then let's get into that. So what is that call? So priestess, I want to just clarify, we're not talking about you have to be a woman. You can be in anybody you want. You can be a raccoon if you want. I don't care. Um, we're all balancing the sacred feminine. Okay, we all have to come.
There's an inner priestess in everyone,
There you
and
go.
it's going to be as powerful or as quiet as you decide, as you do the work. There are like Miguel Angel is the most. He has the most sacred feminine energy of any man I've ever met.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's and so balanced. It's what we're really and what you were saying about acknowledging our inner or our priestess power and reaching out to see what we can do, at the same time recognizing that it's in everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Exactly.
makes it, that's the unity you're talking about. It's the way to bring us together. And yeah.
Yeah, and so let's explain another concept, because I love the Maya. I call it the Maya mind. When you start to understand these concepts within which this culture cultivated this incredible wisdom of time and cycles and eras and equality and accessing states of consciousness and working with different dimensions, and just like then that turned into architecture and art. But the idea that in la catch alakim, that I am another you, you are another me. So it's another namaste, we are one. But there's a depth to it, I think, that is constantly acknowledging that you're on this planet of mirrors and that everything is a reflection of you, and therefore you look inside.
And that you're creating what you see, you're creating. Um, Lady Sat Cook's message to me for tomorrow's Maya Wisdom Circle is she's basically telling us that our success is based on um, working through our beliefs, our limiting beliefs, and that that's what's changing. The world changes as our beliefs change. And it's not easy because, like you said, we've been inundated with, for lifetimes and lifetimes that we are separate from everyone and that we're alone and that, and that time is linear and that there's lifetime. And even if we're talking and you believe in past lives, but in a linear way, it means that it's just moving in one direction, and that it's the only chance you've got is like, and the Maya with their cyclical understanding of time really allows you to uh, go through a cycle and then and you go through the next cycle. It's with a hopefully with a little higher consciousness, but you'll come across the same issues and you'll go, I thought I dealt with this. And of course you did, but you dealt with it on one level. Now you're going to deal with it on another level. And of course, the level that that been dealing for hundreds of years is our mind. And now we're actually working through the heart. And as we connect the mind and heart, well, that's very, very powerful. And it really does take you to places that you never believed you could be.
Yeah, I love that. That's so significant because we've got like in the Maya cultures, they talk about the suns, the eras. And, there's the era before us and then the era before that where we got stuck in our minds. We got stuck in the mental capacity to make stuff. We got so impressed with ourselves. We're like, look what I can do. I can make stuff, So we're kind of stuck there, right? With the greed and the constant, like we were meant to go, okay, I can do that now. And then we were supposed to take in the sacred feminine in the last sun, the water energy and all that, from my understanding. And that lessons then gave us into this era, which is, okay, now you can be unity. And so we're kind of out of balance in general, is for kind of what I see. But there isn't any wrong. Like, we're always at the right moment. And so in this moment, from where we came from or what we have, we're on that threshold of opportunity and possibility. And that's what I love it when you mention, remember your priestess training. And when you think about that training, wasn't just like, how do I manifest money? Or, how do I manifest a partner? It isn't that kind of like, again, like, what can I get? It's who am I becoming and how am I using this opportunity on earth with my particular skills in my particular way, in a divine way, in a sacred way, because each of us has a completely different reality imprinted within us that we can bring.
Of course, and the priestess training, from what she tells me, is that it was really all about remembering your talents, remembering first remembering your promise, like why you came, why you decided to be on earth at this time, and understanding that it's a choice. And then, like she was saying, you bring everything you need with you. Now it's discovering them. It's she taught me telepathy years ago. And it was the telepathy that really brought the channeling in much stronger, because it's non-verbal, non-written communication, right? It's communication through spirit. And once you can do that, she's also warning us with all the technology that we're adopting, that we're missing out on some of our great gifts, and we're giving them away. We're giving them away to technology. And if we do that, we can't get them back. So, developing ourselves as pure human beings, like developing more and more of our humanity, and using technology to benefit us rather than to take away from us, take away from who we are.
Yeah, to support us.
Yes.
I don't know how many decades I've used like a spell check. That's kind of a tech, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to have to go, oh no, did somebody else check for the periods and the punctuation?
I use a calculator, but now that I've been using a calculator all these years, I have to use the calculator.
Exactly. I know. Even basic stuff.
Yeah. So we want to be careful that we're not giving away anything important, right? Anything that really identifies us as human beings, which is our compassion and our heartfelt way of life on earth.
Yeah.
Meaning encompassing all living beings, encompassing all of earth, looking at the good and the bad as being equal, meaning that it all can be dealt with, and it all can be, and with all the difficulties in the world today, to see a way through it, it's really amazing to be able to see yes, it is all possible. It's all, so
Mhm.
much of it is so much nonsense. It's so much,
We're so much more powerful. All that stuff
yeah,
we've been told. The present moment is eternal. It has everything in it. We can literally change overnight. It's a matter of embodying the truth rather than telling the old story. Like everything we've learned, which is why I like it's time for action. It's time to implement what you know. It's time to give yourself permission to remember what you know and feel safe about it. So, well, share your story about you were sharing with me earlier.
about the Yashalan one.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, this was like I really felt when I was in Vancouver that I was being called here, especially after that initial journey. And it took me years and years to be able to get everything together in order to make the move. But since I've done that, it's been over 20 years and I've never looked at going back. It's just straight ahead. But years ago, probably 2010s or 20, it was at least 10 years ago. Um, with Miguel Angel, we had a fairly large group and we were traveling into Chiapas. Um, Palenque, we spent a number of days in Palenque doing ceremony and doing uh, climbing pyramids and connecting with all the energy there. And then we went on to Yashalan, and then we drive to the Usumacinta River. We stayed overnight, and early in the morning we get in these boats, and they're like outboard motor boats, and they're almost like canoes. They're perfectly safe, They're run by people who know what they're doing, but there could be 7 or 8 of us on a boat, and we were traveling there, and it's a 45-minute boat ride on this big wide river, and on one side is Guatemala, and one side is Mexico. So you're between two countries, and then it's peaceful. It's not a roaring river. It's quite a smooth ride. We see some crocodiles, and we see the jungle on the side. We don't see any condos being built, and I remember thinking, God, nobody's built their condos here, right? and and I sort of drifted off a little bit, and I had. I'm sure most of you or many of you have read The Mists of Avalon. It was that feeling of drifting into a different space, and I really felt I was traveling between two worlds. I was in this boat with these 6 women. I think they were all women at that point, yeah. And all of a sudden I recognized them, but from another time. And and I was a priestess, a high priestess more from Uxmal. I had traveled a long ways to get here, and that we were going to this conference of priestesses from the whole Maya world. People were coming to Yashalan. Yashalan was the site of the Maya prophecies, like the priestess prophets, and they were trained to travel into the cosmos and bring back information and travel into the depths of the earth and come back with information. And their prophecies were really well respected. And we were coming to listen to what they had seen in our future. But the amazing part was that I could see these people, and I knew what was coming, what the uh, teaching was going to be about, or the message was going to be, and I could see the ones that were going to be able to accept it and the ones that weren't. It was so clear. It was, and then we land, and there's the physical part of getting up and getting into the site. But it was like standing at the base of this pyramid. The howler monkeys are running around, making a lot of noise, and at the same time, it's peaceful. Like maybe it's like the noise of nature is totally different than street noise. So it was like I got the message that the priestesses were all being called to this meeting to be told that the priestess trainings were going to be ended, that the sacred feminine teachings, the schools, all of that had to go underground, that they could no longer be seen, and that we had to let it go. And we were taught how to do that. We were taught, and many of you were there, I know many of you were there, taught how to close it and how to shut down the teachings and the knowledge and the great wisdom of the sacred feminine in a way that when we were called to come back, we would know how to open it up again and how to bring it out. And I think that's the call of to come now and fulfill your promise to the mother that when needed, you will come and bring the sacred feminine back into its place. And I think that's been going on since 2012 for sure.
Yes. Oh, it gives me chills, because I'm sure most people listening have experiences like this. They might have that, not have that level of clarity, like they knew exactly what it meant, but they'd be like, oh my gosh, I felt that like I was at home. I went to this place. I don't know why I was called there. I felt that I needed to be in a certain place at a certain time. And this is how, whatever sort of the crack of least resistance, right, that we hear the messages
Right.
from the past, from the priestesses, from the ancient parts of ourselves. What are some of the messages? I know I put in the link, but I just want to remind everybody, Trudy's being very kind to open up the Mayan Wisdom Circle tomorrow. If you would like to come for free, I put the link here and we'll make sure and send it to you as well.
Okay, please join. She's in the midst of sending me the message. What I do each morning is meditate and bring her in. Although I think it's more, she brings me to the meditation, and she's pretty much in charge. And she's a true teacher. And what I do is I write it down by hand, in a way that I'm hearing her words and I'm writing it down, but I'm not really hearing what she says. It's later when I go to type it up and I go, oh, and then she's there to help edit it. But it's like I hadn't even heard it when I was writing it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like it. So it was definitely coming from I was in a bit of a state, I guess. And the message tomorrow, I think, is really exciting. It's not complete yet, but what she's talking about is every time there's a limiting belief, every time something or someone or we just know, no, we can't do that. If we go inside and walk up to it, it'll move, it'll open up. There'll be a limiting belief beyond it, but it'll keep moving as we face it. It's sort of like, I don't know, a bully or that it's not real. It's not, it's, we can change it. We have more power than our beliefs. And that is how we are going to be moving forward as a group. And yeah, so please join us. It's a 1 hour. I give a message from Lady Set Cook, and then usually Miguel Angel comments on it. Yes. And Nan, you often comment on it. It's open to the circle then for anyone to comment, because it often triggers people's memories or questions, which is really important. If because they see, it allows you to see things in a different way.
Yes, yes.
And that's what's so important, I think, is just to get out of our rut.
Yeah. Well, and what I love about the way that you talk about it, clearly it's part of your personal path, to connect with this level of channeling, to connect with this one particular being, this era, this medicine, this specialization in a way. And yet it's very cosmic, because these were cosmic universities that taught universal truths that one culture had. But the beauty is that we now, remembering that you are a clear and open channel, and your messages are so relevant. It's not just the same thing people have heard, which is, be positive, this too shall pass, or whatever, right?
Right.
This is like loving guidance, but not the sacred feminine that we're coming out of is expecting the mother to just pick us and pity us and then pet all of our victimhood and then fix it for us. That's not what the mother does. This is much more about pick us up, dust us off. Okay, now we're moving forward. So it's so relevant to exactly what's going on and how you might be reacting in your own personal life or in the collective life.
Right, definitely. And personally, having gone through this uh, accident and back surgery and recovery, slow recovery. I mean, I'm still using a wheelchair, though I am starting to walk with a walker, and I'm feeling really excited about it. My physiotherapist keeps saying, don't rush it. The last thing you need is to fall down. So,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
yes, it's one step at a time. It's learning to do things um, in time, in the time. And of course, at the same time, I've moved. I downsized, and I'm in a smaller house that nothing fits in it now. Everything doesn't fit in, but it's also being renovated. So I've had very, very little personal time. I have hardly ever been in the house alone. It's
Yes.
every day there's workers, and you know that uh, I can pretty much meditate through it, right? But it's been an interesting challenge. And although it's been Lady Set Cook who has uh, been a direct teacher, Maya teacher to me, she often brings in other teachers. She brings in other priestesses, and often Ishmu Kane, whose grandmother, Mother Earth, she will talk to me directly, and Ishel, who's the healer, and I think they saved my life at one point where I was just skin and bones, and I didn't really think I could go on. I was in an altered state, and I remember thinking, this is too hard, and they were both there, and a lot of other people around. It was like I was on a sidewalk and there were all those people walking by. Really weird, but it was like the goddess Ishmukene and Ishel, and they were saying, you have a choice. You do not have to um, push through this. You have done your work, a lot of work, and it's a choice now. You can come back to the other side. And I'd always been aware for many years that when I go to sleep, I actually go to another realm where there's a circle that has a lot of people that I sort of know, and that have passed, and we're deciding what to do on Earth and everything. So it's a spiritual circle, right? And she was saying you can come back in and join us in our spiritual circle and work from that side, or you can recover and continue with the work you're doing. And it was being like, and we love you no matter what you do.
Right. Yes.
You're free to make this choice, and whatever you do will be right. And
Yes.
if you choose to stay, we'll be with you. We'll help you. We'll heal you. And obviously, I chose to stay.
Yeah.
But it was an incredible experience. It was one of those, okay, you really aware this is your choice.
Right. Yeah. And I think that that's such a basic level of empowerment that we're being asked to embody now is let
Right.
go of the victimhood, let go of blaming. It's just a waste of time. You're chasing your tail. You're on a hamster wheel. regardless of it, if you just go, I chose this, there's a reason, there's a higher, wiser part of me that's like, you got to be a part of this, And I always think about how many people are on the planet now compared to when I was born. And there's clearly a desire to be here right now by a lot of aspects of the divine.
Right.
And so, yeah, being that, remembering it. I'm at a point in my life that so much stuff has happened, and it's all been a gift, to shift my perspective, my priorities, my state of consciousness, what's important to me, what I'm willing to do, what I'm not willing to do. And letting go of that judgment of it being anything outside of me means that every moment I can just enjoy that moment. I'm just so grateful I get to be here right now. What's the magic here right now?
Exactly. Yes, and I have a real feeling of gratitude for having this. I see it as my second life.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I want to share it with everyone. I have never felt more and more like I want to speak out. I think before all this happened, I was really in the background a lot, supporting Miguel Angel in his teachings, and he would keep trying to push me out in front, and I would keep okay, and then step back. But I now feel that it's time. It's time, and it's time to make the move. Step out and do what you're meant to do.
Yeah.
By choice.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, before we close, share a little bit about, so on the retreat, and I've put the link in here as well. And if you want to be a part of this really intimate, really amazing, deep dive, like Trudy said earlier, this is definitely a soul calling. This is something that all these events are. Of course, you have a transformation, but this is something that will allow you to reconnect to that inner priestess and allow you to do that inside of a circle, inside of a land with wisdom keepers, like in this place that has so much support, but really loving. It's not one of those let's hike a mountain retreats, right? This is very inner, beautiful. And then let's talk a little bit about like going to something like the Sacred Feminine University, being in a place like this where the priestesses were, where they were taught, and then our extra day where we want to gather with anyone who wants to integrate and really go deeper into the idea of the priestess training.
Where we want to hear from you and what you need and how we can help you achieve that. And about the Maya Feminine University, it's Uxmal, and that's at the sort of the end of our journey. I think it's the last day of our journey. We go there. It's December 12th, and that's the day of Guadalupe, which is really the Sacred Feminine Day of Mexico. And so the energy that's going to be added on to us is going to be really wonderful. It's like a graduation. So, yeah, and I'm confident that everybody who's there has been called. Everyone is there for their purpose and to enhance the circle.
Yeah. And it'll be my birthday on the 13th. So this is a really beautiful birthday present for me.
Wonderful.
I get to be with you guys too. So, all right. So as we get ready to close, does Lady Sack Cook have anything else you want to share?
No, just welcome. Everyone's welcome. Join us when you can.
And I put your email. Is that the best way for them to come to the Mayan Circle tomorrow?
Yeah, info@casaquin.org.
Right. Okay, good.
Yeah,
that's what I put there.
Email me. I'll just send you the link and you can join us.
Right. Yeah. And then you can reach out to me too and say that you saw Trudy here. I will have the link for you if it's easier for you to contact me. And we will put that in our email replay too. So, well, thank you so much, Trudy. Thank you so much. Happy, beautiful Day of the Dead, Hanal Pishan, beautiful week of the ancestors. And I'm just so looking forward to this whole week. I think we're really blessed to be walking right now with it reminds me of the the image of the superhero movie where the explosion's happening, but they're just calmly walking, you know? We're just walking along. Just keep walking along. We're calm. We're in our own stream. We're in our own flow. We're protected.
Pathway through the chaos.
Yeah. So, all right. Thank you, everyone. Namaste. We're going to say thank you to the ancestors and thank you to this beautiful moment and this sacred gathering. Thank you to Trudy and Lady Sackcook, and thank you to all of those who've gathered here to share this wisdom, to awaken us. And may this circle be open, yet unbroken. And the peace in this go with us in our breath, our steps, and our hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. In Lak'ech.
In Lak'ech.
I know, and peace is such an enormous thing. I met the grandmothers at Sidil Sheltun, which is a temple of Venus, which is a site near here, and they taught a class 2 years ago through me about prosperity magic, and everything started with peace. You start with peace. You have to start with peace. It was like, we're going to show you the sacred feminine way to prosperity, and it was like everything went back to peace. And it feels so passive at first until you sit in that space and realize that the stillness and the peace has everything.
And this transition we're talking about, it's really, I see a lot of it as the transition from a society of competition to one of cooperation.
Yes.
And that's what we're aiming at. So
perfect.
Great to cooperate with all of you.
Okay. Yes, definitely. Thanks, everybody. Namaste, everyone. I love you. Have a beautiful and blessed day. And remember to join me on Thursday and Friday for lots more fun. In the meantime, if you would like a soul session, a soul lineage session, or a session with the ancestors, which we're going to share with you as a special, let me know. And remember that Saturday, we're starting the 20 days of sacred alchemy with this ancestor magic. And that is designed to give you something to do every single day. You do it whenever it's right for you. It's less than an hour, it'll be around an hour or less, and take you step by step over 20 days in a sacred cycle to completely transform something in your life, working with the sacred directions, the elements, the archetypes, the ancestors, and all of that. So look forward to seeing all of you. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.